I'm the news that nobody expected. I was never a part of your plan. I'm the reason why life as you know it feels like it's slipping through your trembling hands. And the doctors say I'm just an option, a mistake you can make disappear. I may not have a voice, but I'm more than a choice. I'm as real as the heartbeat you hear. So don't close the book on me yet. I've still got a long way to go. Empty pages to fill, and the best part is still down the road. Oh, I am a story untold. I am God's miracle in the making, proof that all things can work for the good. I am fingers and toes, and heaven already knows the name you pick out for me already belongs to me. So don't close the book on me yet. I've still got a long way to go. Empty pages to fill, and the best part is still down the road. Oh, I am a story untold. Every life is sacred, and every life is a gift, and every life deserves a chance to live. I know you're scared, I know you're scared, I know you're scared right now. But when you hear my first cries, and when you look in my eyes, you'll understand why you brought me to life. So don't close the book on me yet. I've still got a long way to go. Empty pages to fill, and the best part is still down the road. Oh, I am a story untold. That was yours truly singing Untold, written by Matthew West. Good morning. Welcome to the Jewish Pro-Life live stream. This morning is Friday, May 1st, 2020. It's the 7th day of Iyar in the year 5780, and it is the 22nd day of the Omer count. I'm Cecily Routman, founder and president of the Jewish Pro-Life Foundation. We're here for about 20 minutes this morning for some live chat, news, education, spiritual renewal, and enlightenment. So if you're on Facebook, Twitter, or YouTube this morning, please chat with us. At the Jewish Pro-Life Foundation, we're saving Jewish lives and healing Jewish hearts by providing much needed education to the Jewish community, pro-life education, as well as pregnancy care and adoption referrals, and healing after abortion. We started our work in 2006 because we were very concerned about the high rates of abortion in the Jewish community, as well as the fact that a majority of Jews believes that abortion is morally acceptable. This is very concerning to us because of a lot of abortion advocacy coming out of the Jewish community that supports abortion across all demographics. And it also contributes to anti-Semitism because people see us in a negative light. Also, there was no Jewish pro-life voice in the public square. Sadly, in Israel, every year approximately 30,000 Jewish children lose their lives to abortion. And in America, approximately 17,622 Jewish children lose their lives from abortion. That's every year. But abortion just doesn't take one life. It wipes out entire generations. And as Jews, we feel the pain and loss of each and every one. So if you're a Jewish parent facing an unplanned pregnancy and you can't find the support you need from your family, friends, or shul community, please contact us today. We have Jewish-friendly pregnancy care resources that we can get you connected up with today. We also have many Jewish couples who would love to meet you and raise your baby in a loving Jewish home. You can call me today at 412-758-3269, or you can email me at cecily@jewishprolifefoundation.org. Also, if you've had an abortion experience and you're suffering after that experience, please contact us. We have a very effective healing program, especially for Jewish men and women, and it's open to any Jewish person, regardless of affiliation or observance. So today on our program, we have an interview with a Jewish gentleman who wants to share his pro-life journey with us. And so we're going to go over to our interview room now. And we're going to bring Mr. Ross Schriftman on to our show right now. Good morning, Ross.
Good morning, Cecily. Can you hear me? I'm glad to be here this morning.
I can hear you. Praise God. Baruch Hashem, it's working.
Amen.
Thank
Technology.
you. So I'm so very
Technology.
grateful that you agreed to come on the show. Would you like to introduce yourself and tell us a little about yourself, Ross?
Sure. As Cecily said, my name is Ross Schriftman. I live in the Philadelphia area. I grew up in a wonderful home. We are Reformed Jewish. I went to Sunday school. My mother and my father were very, very much involved. And when I was in Sunday school, one of the verses that really struck home with me is that if you save one life, it's if you save the entire world. And that stuck with me all the way through my young life, my bar mitzvah time, my high school time. And I was very active in the synagogue. In fact, I was president of Reformed congregations twice during my time. And I was also regional president of the National Federation of Temple Brotherhoods, which is now called the Men of Reformed Judaism. And I was also very active in politics. I went to college and studied political science. I was an intern to Hubert Humphrey. I ran for delegate to the Democratic Convention for him in 1972. In 1974, I ran for state representative in Pennsylvania. And many of my supporters and friends were pro-choice. And of course, in 1973, the Supreme Court ruling of Roe versus Wade had taken place. And they convinced me that I needed to be pro-choice because women needed to be making the decisions for themselves and not be forced to carry a baby to term. And I was a little uncomfortable about the situation because, as I said, my view was that life is very precious. We all have our lives thanks to our moms and dads, and that we shouldn't be ending life before somebody has the opportunity to live a good life. And but they convinced me, and I kind of came up with the idea, well, I'm against abortion, but I'm not going to tell somebody else what to do. And that was kind of my position. I also decided that we shouldn't force taxpayers to pay for abortion. And many of my supporters were not okay with that. They felt that women, in order to have an abortion, somebody has to pay for it, and it should be the government through our taxes. So I didn't go that far, but that's kind of the way I was. Well, about 3 years ago, I started doing more reviews and reading more articles about the abortion issue. And the more I read, the more I saw that I hadn't been thinking about what the abortion really entails, what actually takes place in an abortion. And I became more and more as I studied it and looked at information from medical doctors who are OBGYNs that are opposed to abortion and starting to see what actually takes place in the abortion itself, that it became very clear to me that not only is this harmful to the baby, of course, because the baby's life is ended, but it does tremendous physical, emotional damage to the women and to the families. And of course, it cuts off future generations that could do wonderful things in the world. So I started to do all of this research and started to go to websites of the amazing women that lead the pro life movement. People like Lila Rose of Live Action, of Abby Johnson, who uh, had been the director of the most successful Planned Parenthood office in Texas and quit. And her story became a book, which became the movie Unplanned. Whether you're pro choice or pro life, you should really look at that movie. Keep an open eye, understand what actually takes place inside a clinic that is performing abortions. So I gradually started to change my view. Other people that have influenced me, Alveda King, the niece of Martin Luther King, and of course, Cecily Routman and the Jewish Pro Life Foundation, which I reached out to because I was saddened by the fact that, especially the Reform Jewish movement, is so pro choice, so much where it used to be, where abortions were supposed to be rare. And now they actually are promoting it as a solution. And it's not a solution, it's a temporary fix to a long range problem. Those problems include uh, abuse by men, uh, they involve other issues, and it really began to bother me. And I decided to get involved. I went to my first March for Life, where I met Cecily for the first time uh, uh, a year ago. I've been to my second one. What was amazing to me is that the people in attendance were so loving, understanding, uplifting, non judgmental, when many in the media try to portray them as being very angry people. And in fact, I have found the opposite. I have found that sometimes people that are pro choice get very angry if you say anything that doesn't match what they feel. And I think we need a public debate about what the real issues are and how damaging this kind of situation is. Now, there's another point. While I was beginning to uh, go through my journey, I started to think about my bar mitzvah and what my mother told me soon after my bar mitzvah that I had never known about. And she probably figured at 13 that I'd be able to understand this a little bit better. So she called me in her bedroom after my bar mitzvah, and she told me the story of what she went through. And during World War II, she was a Spanish translator for the State Department. She worked under Nelson Rockefeller, and she was very good at it. She loved language, and she became very good at it. And her job was to take the War Department's press releases, translate them into Spanish for our Latin American allies, and then take them to the embassies of those countries. After the war, without going into all the details, she became pregnant and eventually she became alone. She thought her life was over. She even thought about killing herself. Her friends were telling her, get rid of it. It's, you're too young. You're only 25. You're all by yourself now. You should uh, end this baby's life and go back and live your life as you should. But my mother was a very strong woman. And she eventually decided, no, she's going to love this baby. this baby is going to live a wonderful life. And that baby was my brother. But I didn't know that he was really my half brother until after my bar mitzvah. Uh, Her decision has ended up resulting in 19 wonderful people, including myself, of course, uh, my brothers, um, my their grandkids,
Mm.
and now great grandkids, who are all wonderful people in their own right, doing wonderful things for this world. And again, if you save one life, it's as if you saved the entire world. I am now a sidewalk counselor, and it's very hard because women come in, they want to have their abortion. I try to give them information. Most of them don't take it. They're very nice, but occasionally somebody gets very angry. And I understand why they're getting angry. They're not angry at me. They're angry at the situation. And I happen to be there. And I say, I'm here to help. Can I give you some information? There are alternatives to abortion. And there's the opportunity, as you mentioned, of adoption. There are all kinds of things to do. And then as a single man, I'm beginning to understand more about this issue that men, there's either two groups of men, those that are abusive, that an abortion will allow them to continue to be abusive, let their girlfriend go get rid of the baby, and then they can go back and continue to do what they want to do without any responsibility. But then you have the men who, you know, it's the women say of the pro-choice people say it's a woman's choice. It is also, if the man's the father, he has not only responsibility, but he should also have some rights. Men are being diminished in this debate as nothing but seed bearers, that we're just providing the seeds for the baby to be born or not to be born. And many men suffer too. And I'm understanding that more. I don't understand it because personally, because I'm single, I'm the old uncle of the family. I have no children, but I'm also concerned about the future. And I want to make sure that people have the understanding for the future. And for those in the pro choice movement and those in the reform movement, I ask them to keep an open mind, look at the information, understand what goes on in these clinics. Right now in Pennsylvania, my clients, I'm a Medicare supplement and insurance agent. My clients can't get elective surgery. I have a client who has emotional problems and she has knee surgery that she needs. And if she doesn't get it soon, she'll never be able to walk, which obviously will make her situation worse. At the same time, Planned Parenthood of Southeastern Pennsylvania is only doing abortions right now.
Mm.
That's all they're doing, and it's really a problem. Um, and at the same time, we're trying to save lives during the coronavirus by social distancing and all the other things that we're doing. Um, it saddens me that abortions are still continuing. Last year, the one location in Philadelphia that I went to, uh, they did 4,000 abortions. They ended the life of 4,000 babies last year. And that's a really sad thing, considering that in Pennsylvania at this point, we have about 2,000 people that have died from the coronavirus. So I really say to life, l'chaim. And God bless everybody. And please keep an open mind. I appreciate the opportunity to express my view on your
Ross, that
webinar.
was so inspiring. Thank you so much for being willing to come and share that.
You're welcome. Thanks for
I
having
think
me.
I think it's very important to keep educating the community at large and especially our community because we just have been so underserved with the facts and reality about abortion and the need for life-saving solutions to these problems. So thank you very much for sharing your experience and your information with us today.
Thank you. It's good to be here. Oh, by the way, one more thing. Uh, in honor and memory of my mom, I wrote a book called My $1 Million Mom, and we produced a short film. My mom died of Alzheimer's, and I know how important it is to care for people at the beginning of life and at the end of life.
Baruch Hashem, thank you. That movie's called My $1 Million Mom. Okay, thank you so much, Ross. We're going to leave you now. Shabbat Shalom. Have a wonderful, wonderful Sabbath. Okay, thank you so very much
Oh, you're
for
welcome.
joining us today. Mr. Schriftman is just a lovely, wonderful man, very thoughtful, very faithful, and we just so enjoy his participation and support of our work. So that finishes up our show for this morning. Thank you so very much for being here. Please just remember that today, as we go into our activities today, to have compassion and faith and know that all life is precious, and share that with your family and friends, and realize that with Hashem's help and our support, you can choose life.
Nobody expected. I was never a part of your plan. I'm the reason why life as you know it feels like it's slipping through your trembling hands. And the doctors say I'm just an option, a mistake you can make disappear. I may not have a voice, but I'm more than a choice. I'm as real as the heartbeat you hear. So don't close the book on me yet. I've still got a long way to go. Empty pages to fill, and the best part is still down the road. Oh, I am a story untold. I am God's miracle in the making, proof that all things can work for the good. I am fingers and toes, and heaven already knows the name you pick out for me already belongs to me. So don't close the book on me yet. I've still got a long way to go. Empty pages to fill, and the best part is still down the road. Oh, I am a story untold. Every life is sacred, and every life is a gift, and every life deserves a chance to live. I know you're scared, I know you're scared, I know you're scared right now. But when you hear my first cries, and when you look in my eyes, you'll understand why you brought me to life. So don't close the book on me yet. I've still got a long way to go. Empty pages to fill, and the best part is still down the road. Oh, I am a story untold. May there be abundant peace from heaven and good life upon us and upon all Israel. Amen.